Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Latched podcast. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, the Latched podcast is a podcast for, mothers, caretakers, anybody in the trenches of motherhood. Today, we're not really talking about a motherhood topic, though. We are going to talk about friendship. Hi, friends.
Hi.
So we get these questions all the time in the group about loneliness and motherhood and how hard making friends is. And it's funny because also side project, working on a little book project about it. And I had actually write this week on my adolescence friendships and like what I remember about adolescence and finding your way in creating friendships. And then motherhood is very similar. It's like a second adolescence. You're creating a new persona in some ways. You're growing. Your priorities are changing. What's important to you. And suddenly you're trying to figure out who you are at the same time as introducing people to your life. And it's almost like we just give up. It's almost like we just say, hey, you know what? There's too much happening in my own head to figure out why on earth do I need a friend? But what I really want to focus on today, because this is kind of high on my current list right now, is just the awkwardness that comes with making a new friend.
You're listening to Latched Mama Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Wirt, busy mom of 6 and owner of LatchedMama.com. Join us each week as we talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, postpartum, and all things motherhood.
Maybe some people don't feel awkward. I don't know.
I know. I think it's truly just part of the beginning stages of relationships.
Yeah. I see it with my sweet, my oldest daughter. She's a lot like me. And just friendships are not easy. And she loves friends, but is a bit introverted and not sure what to say. And so she's going into 6th grade. And so it's new and you switch classes. And so she's like, I just, hope I can find some friends. And I'm like, girl, you're learning who you are. I'm like, you just be kind to everybody and find out something new about people. Like, this isn't like a hunt for like this best friend right now. Yeah. Like, you're going to find some people and it can just be one. Like, that is okay. It does not need to be this like massive group. But yeah, it's just so hard. It's so awkward and you don't know who you are. And I'm talking about that like adolescent stage. Yeah. Like it's just.
But it happens, I feel like, to all adults too. Because we need friends. Yeah, like we need friends and like we can hang on to old friends. Yeah. But then like, have you ever seen those like, there's like an Instagram post like that always go around that's like, you haven't met all the people in your life who are going to love you. Like that's like the thing. And like, and if you don't lead into the awkwardness and you don't build these new friendships, you just walk through life feeling alone and terrible and all of that stuff. So we can talk. We've talked a little bit on the podcast before about Lindy and I's beginning of our friendship. Lindy was actually, I don't know if have I ever told the craft class story? I don't know if I have.
I don't know. We've probably talked a little bit about it.
I had a really, really rough senior year of high school. My life kind of came crashing down, and Lindy actually sat next to me. I would like to say that it was crafts class. She tells me she never took crafts class. So I think she was in like an independent study. Because she was a rock star at art.
No, but I do. I think it was like an Art 5, and I think it was some sort of independent. And so I was in there at the same time.
She was in there at the same time. And
I think that's what it was.
My circumstances had destroyed her volleyball career / high school volleyball experience.
No, it didn't.
It kind of did.
To be honest, like I didn't know you back then. I do believe I knew of your name because I was in that kind of athlete.
At that point.
No,
like not in a good way.
No, but I did not know any of those details, honestly. Yeah. But I knew your name, and because I think I knew it from field hockey. Yeah. Like we both played sports and things like that, but I had no idea about that. So it didn't ruin anything.
Like it's really funny how like awkwardness is. It's so funny. So it's like internal, but it's also external. But like you would look at Lindy in a situation like that and you would say, oh my God, she has her shit together. She was an amazing athlete. She was an amazing artist. She was incredible. She was beautiful. I mean, it was like all of these things. But then look, she's shaking her head because you probably didn't feel any of those things.
No. But I think people look at, I think a lot of times, performance as like you're winning at life. Yeah. I really do. But no, inside I was this like insecure, I don't know who I am. I was really over high school. Like
Yeah.
So just the same as probably everybody else in the room.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anybody who had their crap together, you know?
So that was high school, and then we resurfaced again years later. I leaned into some awkwardness, and I asked for help when Lindy showed up at a sale because I had no idea how to design clothing. I asked her for help. She leaned into her awkwardness by basically looking at me and saying, "Are you kidding me? I have twins. I can't help you." Anyways, we kind of came together. There was a lot of ups and downs at the beginning. There was a lot of me learning what it was like to have somebody share their creative talent with me on a place that I was profiting from it, at the same time knowing that I couldn't pay her for what she was really worth at the time. But I think what was really cool is that we both stayed in it.
Yeah.
We had some really, really hard conversations at the beginning, conversations that made me feel so incredibly anxious because I didn't know how we were going to see our way through it. When the pandemic hit and we were basically all each other had, and we had to somehow figure out how to get through it.
Yeah.
But there are still awkward moments. Like we went kayaking this weekend.
Yeah.
And it was a little awkward at times. I mean, not like...
I'm always awkward, but like I'm comfortable with sitting with like silence for like 15 minutes. Like,
yeah.
I feel like we've like talked about that before. So, and I'm quieter. Like I don't know. I don't like randomly gossip about stuff. Like I don't know. What did we talk about? We talked about therapy and moms and our parents' marriages.
Yes.
Like this is how awkward our conversations often are.
But is it awkward or is it important? That's the whole thing. Is the importance in the awkwardness? Because when you're feeling awkward, are you really showing up as your true self?
Yeah.
There you go. See?
I don't. I think there's...
If it's not awkward, maybe it's superficial. Because two people are it's going to be very hard for two people to come together from a really like authentic, vulnerable place and not have a little bit of awkwardness in there. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was trying to say, like, I don't think you don't have to just talk all the time. Like, that's not always like meaningful. Like, sometimes I do feel like in the silence, like, I don't know, there's comfort. And
I remember.
It's weird. I'm just not going to talk the entire time.
It's weird, though, because when did you learn that, though?
What do you mean?
When did you learn that there was comfort in silence? Being with another human being and being quiet?
I don't know. I think I had a lot of silence when I was a teenager, too, so maybe that's not a good thing.
I remember, like, it's not that I feel like I need to fill every moment, but it's taken me a really long time to get, like, comfortable with being with another human being and, like, being completely quiet. I remember when I miscarried last fall, and my therapy had been completely telehealth since that happened, and then came home from vacation, and I had started miscarrying in the last couple days of vacation, and I I turned my computer on a Monday morning, and I realized I had to tell my therapist that I had lost the pregnancy that we had worked so freaking hard on getting me to accept. We were like 11 weeks in. It was a freaking mess. But I remember her first reaction, eventually her reaction was, I think she felt like I was distant, and I was like, I'm not going to get upset on a computer screen. And so like and we were never going to meet in person and all of this stuff. But then suddenly we were meeting in person, and she was not going to back down from that. But she said to me, she goes, I mean, we can just sit together for an hour and you don't have to say anything. And I remember thinking, that is my fucking hell. Like, I am not going to sit in a room with another individual that I have never met in my life and not say a word. Like, who does that? Talk about awkward. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. But I've come a long way.
That is a long time.
Yeah, but I've come a long way. I think my guess is that she hoped somewhere in that hour I would have said something, but maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, the awkwardness that comes in relationships, I feel like, is something that sometimes makes us pull away from them, especially at this stage in our life where there's so many questions and there's so many, am I doing this right? And who am I? And what's going to happen here? And is this person going to agree with what I said? And stuff like that. Yeah. So Lindy and I are going to play a little game and show you guys awkwardness. Like, I don't know, in the forefront. You're going to show what happened. So, I mean, our relationship's 7 years old now? 6 years, 5 years. I mean, you go back all the way to high school too, but it's really only.
My twins were what, 1?
Yeah,
2017.
So 6 years.
6 years.
But it's only really, I mean, since the pandemic, it's
6
really
and
gotten
a bit. Yeah.
It's changed and it's gotten closer. But so this is what awkwardness looks like 6 years into a relationship.
This is like when you don't, you both know maybe you don't have something to talk about, so you're just going to ask each other questions.
Yeah. So we have these things in the office. We have tabletop questions and they sit in my office. And
we have some of these at home. Do you have any of these at home?
No, I don't know.
Some funny ones for like the dinner table, although we're not always there. But
if I brought that home, those cards would be all over my house in 15 minutes. Like they would just be like this beautiful thing cannot sit in my house somewhere.
Okay, totally off topic, but speaking of dinners,
yes,
we were all at the table last night. I thought you'd be really proud.
How did it go? How long did it last?
I told Nora she needed to put her book away. And so she just shoved her book that way and shoved her plate that way and put her head on the table. And then Lennox poured ranch all over Gabe's food. And so he refused to eat that. And I'm sitting here going like, this sucks.
Melissa had a terrible idea that my family
Melissa
should
would be
sit
really
at the
proud
table.
of me, but like
this is not going to happen again.
And Amelia refused to eat the tacos, so she had like 8-day-old chicken nuggets in the fridge. Like but I just thought you'd be proud of me, and I thought you would like to know, friend. So there you go.
I really am thankful that you tried it, and don't feel that you need to do it ever again.
No, it's all good. It was just really funny. Look, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like you can't do anything without reading a novel. Like I love that you're reading, but can you put the book away?
Yeah.
Like no. Then she was really mad.
Good friendship lesson there. Like we do dinner around the dinner table. Lindy's family does not do dinner around the dinner table.
We try, but we have a lot of stuff going on.
Your kids are also
evening
older too. I mean, mine are, and my kids don't like to read, which is a really like dagger to the heart in my life. So, anyways, okay,
they will one day.
Go ahead. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, what are we doing?
All right, ask me a question. All right, guys, here's some awkwardness.
In which activity would you like a lesson from an expert? What you want to learn?
What do I want to learn? I would really like to be able. I have a lot of things. I want to learn a lot. I would love to be able to actually like turn pottery like on a wheel, like and make like cool. Really, really pretty pottery. I don't know. You know, awkward is like silences on a freaking podcast. I would also like to, you know, a lot of this comes from like the idea that I want life. Like it's very hard for me to answer this question because it's like my current life, what could fit into it versus like one day when it's
like
nice
the ultimate,
and wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really want like a really like nice cut flower garden. Like
someone
not
teach
like
you how
not
to plant
yeah
it?
Like not like what we have. Like I want like to learn how to like literally have cut flowers on my table from my garden all year long. Like I feel like that could be really cool.
That would be cool.
I don't know.
I like it. All right, I'm gonna ask you 3 and then we'll start.
3? Hold on. Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready. This is like 20 questions. Oh, that's kind of weird. All
okay.
right.
Well,
Which country did your family come from?
Yeah, I don't know, like Germany.
Okay,
we were just actually talking about that this morning.
Oh, what's the most beautiful place you've ever seen?
Oh, hey, I actually
That's a good one.
This is a good one. I tackled
pull
this
from
week,
your
actually.
history.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think Cape Town. It was probably surprisingly one of my favorite places I have ever been, and I've been around the world. But I was also talking. A lot of it has to do with who you're with, how you're feeling, especially like on longer trips. But really, really liked Cape Town. Like it beat Fiji. It beat like all sorts of different places that you would think would be like more beautiful. But I liked it.
That's awesome. Well, because
really,
I've been there, but I haven't been to a lot of other places. So
ooh, yeah, so you set the bar high.
Okay, this is kind of funny. I think I know what you're gonna pick. If you lived to be 100, would you rather have a sharp mind or a fit body?
A sharp mind.
Ding, ding, ding. I win.
No, it's very interesting too because I look at some of those like things that happen when you get older. I was just talking to my mom. My mom's best friend from high school has Parkinson's, and her husband just had a stroke, and like a stroke that he's not going to come back from. And I asked my mom, I was like, does Nancy know what's going on? And she's like, she is as sharp. She can't talk. She can't walk. She can't write. But her mind is all there. So then I do think about that question, and I'm like, well, if my body is going to go to the point where like I can't really function, but my brain is still there, and you look at something like ALS or something like that where like you're still there, but you can't really, like, that seems absolutely terrible. But if it's like just, hey, I only can walk to the mailbox and back at 90, but I get to love all of the people in my life and I get to keep growing and stuff, that's what I would pick.
Yeah, I would go with the mind too. It's hard though because my great grandmother, my mom's side, I mean, she was playing golf like into her 90s, like 9 holes, right? And then all of a sudden it just took a turn for the worse. And so she was like bedridden with her mind. Like, and she just...
Was she miserable?
She's like, I should have drank more when I was younger. I should have done... Like, she was not happy. And I could see that, like, being my mom. Like, if she can't move her body and be physical, like, she probably doesn't want to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I think you also get used to the endorphins, too. I mean, they're a drug. I mean, and if you...
So I think it's really...
all of a sudden you can't feed your body that way. Yeah.
But...
All right, you ready?
Okay.
God, this is like my worst nightmare of a question.
Great. Okay.
Which historical time period would you most like to visit? I don't do period pieces, guys.
You're asking me history?
Well, I can tell you the only book that I've ever read that seemed like someplace I would want to go, but I'm going to let you answer first.
No, all I know is from like a fashion perspective. So who the heck knows what's going on, but like the 50s or 60s.
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of fun. That's when like people did all the bunch of like drugs and just went to music festivals, right?
Maybe later 60s? I don't know. Maybe just before that, but
I would like to go to like the Gatsby era. I'd like to go to a couple of parties like flapper dresses.
Yeah, well that's like 60ish.
No, that's
60s.
The 20s.
Way back. Sorry.
No, isn't Great Gatsby like the 20s?
No, you are right. It's like 20s, 30s. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, yeah. Don't ask me history events. I'm not.
Okay, all right.
That's not me.
Okay. It's like the same question you just asked me. Okay. All right. Oh gosh, this is a hard one. Oh. So this is like where the awkwardness, hardness comes from. What 3 adjectives would your family use to describe you?
I think they would say, and be honest, this is me working on myself, quiet, sad, and loving.
Sad?
They asked me like last week, Mom, why are you so sad? And I was like, oh, damn it. So there's my bit of vulnerability, working on my, and I don't think it's always truly because I'm sad. I just think sometimes I'm very like deep in thought, like kind of just...
I don't think it's
pensive,
wrong.
but I'm just being honest. That's
I think
what they asked me.
I want my kids at some point to look back and be able to say that they saw me feel things.
Yeah.
So not that I would ever think that what you were feeling was bad, but the sadness probably isn't a bad reaction, but
yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think if that just like constantly stayed the same, it would be not very
How
great,
long do you think how long has that adjective been part of the 3?
That was just recent. It's not all the time. But, I think sometimes on like deep feeling weeks. Last week was a deep feeling week. We talked about that. So
last week was a shit show of a week.
It was a week. But yeah, there you go. There's my 3.
Do you want to know my 3 that I would use if I was your family?
Yeah. Well, wait. If you were my family.
If I was your family, what I would call you?
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm going to put you into the family category.
Okay.
Loving. Devoted. And high achieving. Really? Because you got to understand that sadness, comes from the fact that you're working on yourself. Like, and the sadness comes from the fact that like you just want to do the best job possible for yourself and your family. And it's so admirable and it's beautiful.
Oh, thanks, friend.
You're welcome.
Okay.
One more.
Next.
Which American landmark would you most like to see?
Oh, the Great Lake? No, landmark? I don't know, but that's the first thing that came to mind. So
the what?
I want to go over to like the Great Lakes, like the clear, like.
Where is that?
I don't know.
Like in Michigan?
All the way over there.
What? Where? Where is over
way
there?
Over there?
What the hell is over there?
All the
Can
way
you
over
give
there.
me a state? What are they?
I don't know. I just want to go all the way over near like Washington, like all the way on that side.
I don't think that's where the Great Lakes
Well,
are.
there's some sort of lake over there, and I want to go. Stop laughing at me, Kennedy.
There are lakes everywhere. Please
that's
tell
where
me
I
what lake you want to go
all the
to.
way
Hold
over
on.
there.
What state?
I want to go over near Washington. Don't laugh at me.
I love you so much.
That's just where I want to go.
Okay. I don't know what lake's over there, but we're gonna figure it
I
out.
will go to a lake over there.
I cannot wait until you get to go to a lake over there.
Thanks.
I love you, friend. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know. I haven't done like the state parks out west. I haven't done like Yellowstone and all of that stuff. I need to go do that. I haven't done the Grand Canyon. Have you done the Grand Canyon?
No.
But you want to go to the lake in Washington.
Oh, that just seems really hot. Don't want to go there.
All right, one more, and then we will stop our awkwardness, and we will let you guys go back to the Latched Mama podcast. Okay, I like this. If you could work as an assistant to anyone or any place for a year, who would you choose and where?
Jeez. An assistant.
Like learning. It's another like learning question.
Oh,
Hey, awkward pauses on
yeah,
podcasts aren't
either like Sarah Blakely.
Oh my God, Sarah Blakely,
or
let us come over for dinner, please.
I don't know. Maybe Brene would be really bad, but I don't know. Maybe I'd probably be like deep in my feelings.
No, I am worried that not
probably
worried.
Be too much.
I don't know. I've heard that it's hard. It's a little bit difficult to work with her, like not in a bad way. I just think that she's. I'm not going to say anything because Lord knows people would tell me that I'm a terrible person to work for as well.
I think anybody that is truly driven and very successful is not always easy to work with.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think it's just not normal for everybody to have like the drive and the expectations and the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think it's also hard to balance like the idea that there's a company to run here with the fact that we're all juggling our own shit. And I think anybody who's working on themselves or not, or just aware of their own crap at the same time they're trying to work or create something that's different or bigger than themselves or whatever, it all gets mismatched in there, and you're not going to get consistency. You're not going to get the same thing every day. I don't know. I've learned a lot trying to figure out this place and what's been going on and ups and downs and stuff. It's really funny that you picked probably two of the same things. I'd also like to go work in Chick-fil-A HR for a little while. Learn about their customer service training. I don't know, some of like the really, really well efficiently run businesses, I feel like would be really, really cool. I would like to like go figure out like the Elon Musk brain a little bit. I think that could be an interesting thing. Because I've really, really learned that like you absolutely 1000% cannot judge who somebody is through like Twitter or news articles or something like that. 1000%. Every story can be spun 17 different ways. And honestly, if the person is worth anything, they're probably not going to go out and blast their side of the story. So some of those really, really misunderstood people, I would love to go shadow and see what they're like outside of like the media and like who they are at the end of the day, like go on a walk with them, you know, like truly figure out what motivates them and what drives them. And is it really money and fame and success? Or is it trying to change the world, get us off the planet, do whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's a lot to learn there.
Yeah, I agree. Or I'd go hang with Pink too.
Oh, love to go hang with Pink.
Yeah.
We're just going to go on a tour. We're just going to go find some really cool people.
As if these people like really
would
like
ever hang out with us.
Probably never. So anyways, but yeah.
All right, guys. So that is our friendship. Go lean into something. Go be awkward.
Go get some questions and go work.
I'm sure you
work on a friendship with somebody. Go be awkward on the couch.
Because I can tell you what's going to happen after this podcast is that Lindy and I just connected at a deeper level. So we're going to literally go from here. We're going to turn off these mics. We're going to flip to work, and we are going to have such a more productive day because we're going to be patient and we're going to be kinder with each other. And I'm going to probably pull up a map at some point and figure out what this lake is.
She's going to make fun of me.
She wants
about my lakes
to go to.
I just want to go to the water. I don't care where it is. I just want to be on the water. Take me back out on the kayak.
All right. Maybe we'll do that this afternoon. All right, guys. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.